All right, y'all, welcome back yet to another live stream. It's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHJR, and I am back. Glad to be back. Feels like it's been a while since we went live. Tonight is a special live. Got a special guest that I'll be bringing on here in a few minutes. Of course, by the thumbnail and by the title, we will be talking day 3 fragrances with brand owner and perfumer Mr. Michael Paul. All right, so him and his team were gracious enough to send me a discovery set. Then they sent me another discovery set with the new and improved fragrances with the samples in them. And then we have a little bit of a surprise for you guys tonight. I don't know if anybody else has smelled this or anybody has had the privilege of smelling this. I see Mike down below. I might be the first one. So we'll see when we bring Mike on, and we're going to have some conversations. We're going to ask him some questions. And then of course I'm going to smell some of the fragrances that I have yet to smell from day 3. Fantastic house. Nothing that I have smelled has not been fantastic. And I'm looking forward to more of the experience tonight. So let's go into the comments. Let's see what everybody has going on. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me and see me well. Make sure we are good to go. We've had some weird internet stuff in my neighborhood today. Hopefully that is squared away. And we won't have any issues tonight, man. So let's tap in. I know Justin is live as well. I know somebody else might be live as well. So I know the crowd is kind of split, but I think sooner or later, the audience will start honing in here. Especially when we talk to perfumers and brand owners. I know you guys really love that. So I'm expecting a pretty decent crowd tonight. So let's go to the top of the chat and let's see where we are. Lavelle was in the house at 5:58 p.m. God bless, smell good family. Pay those ties and hit that like button. Send it a day for my guy. Club Dating Week. Intense man. Got my man Joel in the house wearing. What is this? Joel, you do. I think you do this on purpose. You will put a fragrance of the day that there's no possible way to pronounce this accurately. There's no way. Like, you constantly do this, and I'm starting to believe that's on purpose. I see I'm glitching up on screen here, but y'all just bear with me as things continue to improve. All right, but Joel, I don't know what that is, and we're just going to leave it at that. But sir, I'm sure you are smelling fantastic. All right, Dame in the house. What's going on, Dame? Wearing Dior Homme 2020, which is fire. Can't go wrong with that. Great, clean, everyday wear. Beautiful fragrance. All right, Joel said he just received his 10 ml of Chanel Leon, 5 ml of Them Faces of Francis, and 5 ml of Macy's Crivelli Ambre Chromatique. Just waiting for colder temperatures to put them on. Well, you're in Canada. I'm sure you're going to be experiencing them very, very soon. So IBG in the house wearing Jacette samples. Okay. Let's see. Joel. Also, I got a long time coming. Was waiting for it to get back in stock. A bottle of Naomi Good Sir or Deuce. Again, Joel, you're the man. You're the man, Joel. You are the man for sure. IBG in the house, Gian in the house, wearing Latafa Pisa. Okay, never heard of that one, but I'm sure you're smelling good. Speaking of my special guest, Mr. Michael Paul, pretty excited for this one. We're definitely excited to have you as my man is chilling down in the green room. He's ready to go. We're going to bring him on here in just a few minutes. Try to catch up with y'all, Smell Good family, see what y'all got going on, see how y'all feeling, how things are going for you guys. Dan, not the man in the house. What's up, D? Mike and the Smell Good family, for sure, for sure. Let's see. And Antonio Harvey is in the house wearing light blue Old Intense. Great classic scent for sure. Beardsome in the house. Hope all is well with you and your family. Hope all is well with you and your family, Beardsome. Hopefully you're doing well. I see you still riding that Azaro 1 EDT. I see you still riding that, man. I think you found you something that no matter what the conversation is, you love it, and I love it for you, man. So enjoy what you enjoy. That's what it's about. We got my guy, Walt, in the house, Fat Boy Finesse in the building. What's good, Smell Good family? Stand of the day, Hawass Black. A lot of Hawass Black content out there. It is flooding and flooding and flooding the algorithm. And guess who's going to join the party tomorrow? Me. Me. I will be talking a little Hawass Black with my video on tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of Fat Boy, we're going to have Walt on next Thursday. Next Thursday, me and Walt, he will come on the live stream for the very first time. We have a special surprise as well. Walt is coming with some good energy, and it's going to be really, really cool, man. If you have not subscribed to Fat Boy Finesse, please do so. Walt is solid, man. Check out his content. I'm a fan of his content. Really solid, really solid. Y'all check out my man Walt for sure, for sure, for sure. Dan, not the man wearing platinum Ego East. Can't beat that. Anthony Patterson in the house. What's up, my guy? What's up, Dedrick? Salute to you and the Smell Good family. Sin of the day is 8 and Bob Original JFK. Classy, classic, gentleman, beautiful, masculine fougere style of a scent. Portobello. Really, really good stuff for sure, for sure. All right. Scrolling through the chat. Miss A.M.A. Styles in the house wearing Banana Republic, Cypress and Cedar. Really good fragrance. I have that in my collection as well. Let's see everybody showing love. Mr. Clark 30 in the house wearing Prada Amber Intense. That stuff is fantastic too. Y'all are smelling great today. Y'all are smelling great today and every day. This is the best smelling chat online. I don't care what no one else says. You guys are smelling fantastic. All right. Look like StreamYard is still getting stuff together. I'm watching myself on camera as well. We got a little glitchy going on. But I've just gotten an alert that my internet from my internet company says we should be all system go. And I said this. So I said last week with Christian, they want to do something to the internet. This week with Mike, they want to do something to the internet. I'm like, is it just me? Is it the fact that y'all know that I'm going live and we're going to have a great time with these wonderful gentlemen and you guys want to just chop? Ridiculous. Okay. All right. Let's see. Almost down to the bottom of the chat. We got 43 rocking with us right now. Please hit that thumbs up if you have not yet already. It takes half a second. Continue to push us through the algorithm and let everybody know that we are live. Marcus says he likes the instrumental. Thank you. I appreciate that. E-Reason, what's up, Smell Good family? Today today is Agenta by 8 and Bob. I've heard of that. Haven't smelled it, but I have heard of it. And I'm sure you're smelling good, sir. Smooth in the house. What's up, chat? Do y'all recommend buying fragrances off eBay? I'll speak for myself. I had a horrible experience on eBay, and I never tried it again, and I never will. So for me, no. I will not be eBaying ever again. Horrible experience. I don't want to relive it. It was like 2 years ago. It's still ticking me off to this day. Depends on the okay. Fakes out there for sure. Speaking of my guy Josh in the house. As soon as StreamYard lets me like his comment. What's up, Europe? Sitting today, his Perfume 504, his newest drop. Okay, his best drop. Okay, can't wait to get into this. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Hez and his team over at Hez Parfums for sure with the new release. Y'all make sure y'all check out Hez. My guy Joel in the house. Center of the day, JB Butters, Dylan Blue, layered with Dylan Blue, the fragrance. JB Butters, you want to be moisturized? You want to be smelling good? Hey, it's something to behold. JB Butters. He does these whipped, soft, textured butters with different scents of your favorite fragrances. He does unscented as well. Dope. All right. Well, I've smelled it. I won't spoil it for you, Dedrick. Oh, okay. So you smelled the new one. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Day 3, yes, sir. In the house. Stogie in the house. What's up? Wearing Cremo. Day Cremo body wash, Palo Santo. That stuff actually smells good. It actually smells good. I smelled it a little while ago when I was in my local Target. Which one are we going with? How bougie are y'all? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. All right. We're about down to the bottom of the chat. We're getting ready to bring my guest on. I don't want to keep him waiting. I know he is a busy man. He has family and all kind of different things going on in his world, so we don't want to waste his time. But y'all keep flooding the chat. Stogie said he just got his day 3 sample set. Only smelled Say Less and Bani so far. Great fragrances so far. That's what's up. Keep enjoying them. I'm sure that's music to Mike's ears. Michael is a phenomenal interview. Yeah, I know he is. I've seen him with some of my good friends out there discussing his brand, and I'm happy that he's here to rock with me and the Smell Good family tonight. Everybody saying hit that like button. Appreciate that, Dame. Hit that thumbs up. It goes a long way. We have 50 watching, but we got to get those likes to match what's going on. All right, so definitely appreciate that. Premium Greens Landscape and Design. Great day, sir. Hope you're feeling good. Yes, I am. And your day is going well. It's going really good. Can't complain. End of the day, Dazzling Dubois. I think it's Viage. Okay, I'm sure you're smelling good. So I've never heard of that one, but I'm sure you're smelling fantastic. Rockboy T in the house showing love. John C in the house. Don't support Joel's blind buy. I'm not. You know, Joel he's always on a roll, but introducing us to new things. So I can't be mad at Joel. If he's going to be the sacrificial lamb, then my goodness, God bless you, Joel. Got my baby love in the house showing I love always. I definitely appreciate her doing so. Supporting me means a lot, so I definitely appreciate that. All right, y'all. So we're gonna scroll down to the bottom. Sticks and Poles in the house. All Genre Bops is in the house. Kevin Smith is in the house out of North Philly. We see you. All right. Pete is in the house. A lot of love in the house tonight. I haven't bought a fragrance in so long. Just been stealing from the hubs. That's me. He found on my dresser, almost got away with it. Yeah, she tried to jank one of my rose fragrances. She thought I wasn't gonna tell, but what's mine is hers, so she can use it whenever she feels like it. But yeah, I saw that and I chose scooped it right off of her little section. I did. All right. And Fat Boy, appreciate it, fam. Next week gonna be crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. All right, y'all. Let's bring Mike on. I'm gonna turn the music down. We're about to the bottom. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna get a swig of water. We're gonna bring him in. All right. Okay, so again, bear with me. I think my internet is under control now. It was choppy for like a good bit just setting this up. I was starting to kind of panic a little bit because y'all know I am a quality snob. From my audio to my camera work to my thumbnails, I don't play around when it comes to quality. That's why I'm so fascinated by perfumers and brand owners in the fragrance world. And I get the chance to speak to these gentlemen, like tonight with Michael Paul, last week with Christian Petrovich from Argos. We're setting something up with George Saharoff. It's just a fascinating thing for me to be able to hear from these guys about just several things. So really looking forward to speaking to Michael tonight. Of course, if you're just now joining us, Day 3 fragrances is the topic at hand. And we're going to have a great time. Got some things in Discovery Set. Got a brand new scent that is going to be in collaboration with Scent Explorer for this upcoming Scent Explorer event this fall, I believe, this winter or fall. Yeah, fall. All right, so we're going to do that. All right, but before I get started, my scent of the day, kept it cool, kept it light. Really enjoying this fragrance. It does remind me of the Ventus cologne that everybody speaks of. I was very privileged, I guess, to be, which I didn't realize that this was the case. I was the first one to review the new Versace Eros Energy a few weeks back. And I was wondering why this video was going crazy in my studio. And I couldn't put 2 and 2 together until Ross told me. He said, yeah, you're the first one to review it. There's no one else that has any content on this. So I can't take credit for that. I got a shout out my brother Said for giving me the sample. And we did the video. I had no clue whatsoever that this stuff wasn't available. But now I have a full bottle. Purchased this a couple of weeks ago. Miss Heather looked out for me and made sure I had the bottle. So today, from the house of Versace, we went with the new Versace Eros Energy. Eros Energy, get that in focus if we will. There we go. Eros Energy, beautiful yellow bottle, kind of comes off like it's for summer. It is not for summer. I think it is very versatile to wear, but I can see why people are going to want to wear this in the summertime. A lot of citrus, some woodsy presence, very bright, effervescent, sparkly, just very good everyday wear. Like there's nothing like super duper special about this. Just to me, it smells really, really good and it works for me. So scent of the day, the new Versace Eros Energy. I liked it so much off the sample that I was, inspired to add it to my collection. All right, so that's what we got. So without further ado, we're going to bring on my special guest, ladies and gentlemen. If he gives me the thumbs up, we'll bring him on. All right, here we go. Without further ado, we have the brand owner, perfumer. You guys know a lot about this brand, and if you don't know about this brand, get ready to learn something new and something of really good quality. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been brewing for me and Michael have been, saying things to each other back and forth for a couple of months now, but we were finally able to make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Day 3 Fragrances, we have Mr. Michael Paul. I think he should be coming on as soon as stream. There we are, Mr. Michael Paul.
Hello, how are you?
I am well, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm excited to be here. I know it's been a long time. We've been trying to set this up.
Yes, sir.
I just have one quick complaint. This green room that you had me in, I thought it was going to be catered. There was nothing. There was no catering. There's no bottles. But we'll work on it. We
will work on it. We will establish more comfortable environment for my guests when they come to the live stream, man. So thank you, man. Thank you for being here tonight. I get excited when I get to talk to gentlemen like yourself who are in this perfume world and creating things and have stories to tell. This is one of my favorite things to do just with content. So thank you for, taking some time out to be here with me and the Smell Good family tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I actually really enjoy your community and your audience, and see them all around on different platforms, and love hanging out with these guys. And tonight's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, definitely looking forward to it. So we're going to ask some questions for Michael, and of course we have this Day 3 discovery set. He was generous enough to send me the updated discovery set. Here's the beautiful, and my favorite color is black, sleeked out black, the Day 3 logo. Very simplistic, very nice, it caters to, in my opinion, like a lot of aesthetics. So I do things with my boxes and stuff, and this is something that could sit very wonderfully on my thing that you guys can't see up there when we get finished smelling these tonight. So Mike, before we get started, man, what is your scent of the day? What are you wearing today, sir?
We're wearing Del Mar today.
Okay.
It's still real hot here in Phoenix. Like, we talk about like, oh, it's cooling off. Like, oh, here comes the cool weather, because it was only 95 today. So everyone was like really excited. But yeah, it's still definitely warm enough for Del Mar. And that's one of my favorite freshies. So
yeah, I've never smelled Del Mar, so I'm looking forward to smelling that tonight. And I set it on my dresser, and I meant to grab it, but I do want to start and just say one thing in particular right now. Bani the body oil. Listen to me, people. I'm a body oil guy. I rarely use lotions. I do shea butters, avocado oils, coconut oils. I'm an oil guy. That's what I use to moisturize my skin, my beard, and things like that. I love a good oil. And Mike let me know, again, generous and kind enough to send me the Bani body oil. I've smelled Bani, courtesy of Ross. Sensational fragrance. Sensational fragrance. So when Mike was generous enough to send me the oil, and on first apply of the oil fresh out of the shower, Mike, I just want to let you know that you, sir, have something very, very, very serious on your hands with that body oil. The quality, the aroma, and just the experience of it is phenomenal. And it made my wife stop in her tracks as I was walking by her the first time that I wore it. And it had her back up and have conversations with me as, what we wearing tonight? Like, what is that? She had never smelled it. It was brand new at the time. And I just want to say from you, I appreciate you kind of, I guess, I don't know if it's stepping out of the box because it's a fragrance, it's of oil, but it's the only oil of its kind. And I just want to start right there. Why body oil? What made you want to go into that lane? What was the idea? What's the surrounding nature of the Bani body oil?
So we have a friend who's an influencer, and she covers some of our fragrances. And she was traveling, and she had Bani with her, and she was doing a live by the poolside, and she was out there spraying Bani, and she said, "Man, it smells so good. What we really need is a Bani body oil." And I just kind of like filed that away in my mental Rolodex, because I thought, yeah, body oil is awesome, especially for the summertime. You got to keep your skin hydrated. And Bani is such a tropical, but like a clean, fresh tropical. Like it's not over sweet. We just thought it would be a really good pairing for a body oil. So we went ahead and did it. It took us a little while. We didn't do it right away because we wanted to get the actual oil itself correct. We didn't want to just throw some fragrance into a random oil. We wanted to make sure we had the right mixture of oils so that it's good for your skin. It feels good. It's a nice dry oil. And when we got everything together, my wife designed the packaging and she did a phenomenal job. And then we launched it not expecting much. And then it sold for us better than expected. I guess it's what the people wanted,
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. My bottle is probably, and I have a lot of oil. I have a lot of oils and butters. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and not say that I don't, because I actually have an absurd amount. I'm just going to be honest here. But the Bani, I wear it often, at least 2 to 3 times a week, fresh out of the shower. That's the oil of choice because I'm just enjoying the experience every single time. So that is something I hope you plan to keep it around for as long as you can. Because that is something I will need to get a backup bottle of just to have in place. If you have any thoughts to kind of let that kind of chill and let it be a moment of time, please let me know. Because I don't want to not have that as long as I can have it. That's how much I really enjoy it, for sure. So
yeah, we're going to try to keep it around because we've gotten really great feedback on it. The only issue with it that I see is like, we're growing so fast as a company, and it's just 5 of us now that work in the company. 3 of us are full-time. We've got 2 part-timers. They're all family members, and it's becoming a lot. Like the more the demand goes up and the more fragrances we're selling and that kind of thing, it's like, wow, it's a lot to do around here. But I would like to keep it around because the feedback has been really good, and we want to keep people happy. So
yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because you'll be hearing me. I got some male grooming stuff in the works. That's all I'll say there. And Bani Body Oil will be making some appearances for sure in that type of content. All right. Awesome. So I definitely wanted to kind of have an icebreaker there and talk about the body oil. But let's get into day 3 fragrances. Something that I'm sure you're passionate about.
Very.
And I've watched your interviews. I've seen you before, especially with my brother Ross over at TOTG. Shout out to him. And I got a chance to kind of get to know you through screen. But I do have a set of questions for myself that were sparked by watching those interviews. Just case in point, the thoughts on creating a brand. Can you go back to the very beginning stages of, hey, this is what I want to do, or something that I am inspired to do? What was it? What was the ideal? What was the moment? What was the fragrance? What was it that had you in a race in your mind to say, hey, I think I want to get into the world of perfumery?
Yeah, it was honestly just an answer to prayer. If I'm going to be completely honest, I had no intention of starting a fragrance company. I had no intention of becoming a professional perfumer. I was an entertainer, and I was performing magic for celebrities and at large events. So I would do magic for big concerts like Jay-Z and Beyonce, Drake, Guns N' Roses, Metallica. And then COVID happened, and all the big events were gone. So I was out of work for a while, and at first the lockdowns were supposed to be 2 weeks. they just went on and on. And even when the lockdowns eased up, there were not a lot of big events happening, and it was just
Right.
difficult to get back onto that role. And
Right.
so my wife and I were also in ministry,
Okay.
and that went sideways too, because you couldn't have church services out here.
Mm,
Like it was wild. So we were just praying like, all right, God, what does our future look like? Because we're
sure.
stuck and we don't know what's going on.
Right.
And I told my wife one day, I said, what? I know you're not going to believe this, but I think God is moving us to start a fragrance company, which is wild because we didn't have a lab, we didn't have any equipment, we didn't have raw materials, we didn't have any formula, we had literally
Wow.
nothing.
Wow.
And all of this stuff is very expensive, and we're also flat broke. So I mean,
Okay.
you may as well have just come to us and told us to start an electric car company. We would have been just as lost. We would have been like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So we started praying like, all right, God, well, we'll be obedient to what you're calling us to, but you're going to need to open the doors because we don't have anything to go on. And
Wow.
so we created Laita de Cafe and launched it. And it got nominated for a huge international award like just a couple of months after we launched.
Okay.
We thought that was kind of funny, and we live in Arizona. The awards were happening in LA, so we were like, hey, just for kicks, let's head out to LA and just play dress up and sit in an award show and just see what that's like.
And
And
this
so
is
we
after you were
did.
nominated. You got
We
nominated
were
and y'all decided to go.
Yeah, we were nominated. Yeah, they gave us the choice. They don't tell you ahead of time whether or not you've won. They just give you the
Oh,
option, like,
okay.
would you like to show up? And
Okay.
we thought, well, there's no way we're winning, but LA is right there. We could drive.
Right.
So we went out, and now I'll tell you a funny story. The person that won, it was like just before us. He's from a well-established house, and he's
Okay.
holding this trophy and he's looking at it like it's a baby. And he's like getting kind of emotional. And he's
Okay.
saying, man, I've tried for years to win this award. And I'm so glad I didn't give up because this is the achievement of a lifetime. And I looked over at Vanessa and I was like, what are we doing here? Like, it was like the biggest imposter syndrome. Like, we don't belong here. And the very next award was for the AFTEL Award, which is like an excellence award. And then they said day 3 fragrances, La
Wow.
Tacita de Cafe. And we couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And that's what really kind of kicked off day 3 fragrances. And we just, from there, like, it's just been a wild ride. We're just trying to hang on at this point.
Wow. I like I said, I've heard the story.
Yeah.
But just with those little nuggets that you added, like not having anything to create, and your wife comes to you with this, and then the conversation starts, and y'all
Yeah.
are being moved by God and the message and the energy and everything that that He sent down, and y'all were obedient to what you guys heard. That's the best story I ever heard. Like as far as
we
far as far as tapping
we
into
would be
person.
like in like a church service, or you read through your Bible, and one of the things you hear preachers say a lot is like, well, God doesn't call qualified people, he qualifies the called.
Mm,
And he uses people that are like the least likely so that he gets all the glory. And that's fine hearing that, but then when you live it, we're like, yeah, we were the least likely people. I mean, without a dollar in the bank and no connections to the industry. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know how things were supposed to work. So the fact that we're here where we are now, it's, you
that's
know,
incredible, man. That is literally. I'm not just saying it. I'm being honest. Like the greatest story I ever heard. Like for no perfume background, no perfumery history. Like just doing other things in the world, and then you guys are called to
yeah,
this. And
yeah,
then I'm sure you couldn't imagine in your wildest dreams. I'm guessing that you were thinking that the steamrolled energy for day 3, how it has just taken off and
yeah.
has garnered so much attraction from the fragcom community and winning awards and things of that nature. I'm sure you have to find yourself sometimes saying, what?
Yeah,
Like,
every day. And you know what's funny is I could keep you here for the next 3 days telling you all of the little things that happen that just no way they could have happened. It just, doors were opening for us and miracles were happening all around us. And I mean, I wouldn't even have time to tell you about all of the details, but we just feel very blessed.
Man, that's awesome, man. So I definitely want to give people who hadn't had a chance to hear from you or hadn't had a chance to hear you speak on just the origins of the brand. I'm sure each different audience that you touch for the first time, there's going to be people in the chat. Like tonight, we have 87 strong right now. Thank you guys for being here. Hit that thumbs up on your way in. We definitely appreciate the you being in attendance tonight. So for those who haven't heard anything about day 3, or you might have heard about day 3 and you're curious, well, this is Michael Paul. This is the Perfumer. We're going to smell some fragrances tonight, and we're just going to have conversation, man. So glad that y'all are rocking with us tonight on this Wednesday for sure. All right, so I want to highlight my guy, the Bishop Jared Miller, for the $10 super chat. I love these family stories. Yes, Jared is a good dude. Great dude, my brother for sure. I love these.
We got to hang out in Nashville not too long ago at an event and got to meet him like in real life, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he hit me up. He hit me up and let me know that he was making his trip out there to go to the event. So we talked about it and all. Jared's a real friend of mine. It's just not like, you know, chat stuff. No,
like an actual friend.
Yes, I talked to Jared on the phone quite often for sure. But of course, I think you know this guy. The comments are going so fast out of Powell here, but my man Ross is in here. He had something to say. I'm trying to find the comment. StreamYard just jerking it around. I'll find it, but where is it? Here he is laughing here, and here's the comment. All right. We all pat Mike on the back for his great work too much. How about this? Not all of your fragrances are 9s or 10s. Some of them are 8.5s.
The man is just keeping me humble, and that's what friends are for.
Absolutely, man. So shout out to my brother Ross for being in the chat tonight. So before we move on, I actually want to get my nose on the, I know I'm going to butcher the name, but Laita de Cafe.
You got it. You nailed it.
All right, so I'm going to spray this on. I've never smelled it before. And again, is this the very first creation from?
Yeah, that was one of the first 3 that we launched at the same time, and that's our award winner. That went to the Art and Olfaction Awards, which is like the Oscars of perfumery.
Right.
Everything is judged blind. They have a bunch of professionals who judge all of the fragrances. They take your fragrance out of the vial that you send it in. They put it in a different vial with just a number on it. So these judges that are the tops in the industry, they just see a number. They don't know who perfumed it. They don't know what house. And so we were just blown away and honored that just on blind sniffing alone that we would win this award. That's something that I made for my mother or Vanessa's mom. And I don't know, have you heard the story about TDC?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. So we let her sit with that perfume for a couple of weeks, and we said, hey, listen, we made this for you. We would like for you to name it. And as she was wearing it, she said, you know, every time I wear this, she said, I feel like I'm sitting with my little cup of coffee. So we named it Laita de Cafe because that's Spanish for little cup of coffee.
Beautiful family story. I'm having a moment here. This is incredible.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just want to highlight this sample here. Look at this atomizer, y'all. On screen.
Not bad for a sample, right?
That's incredible.
Thank you.
But what I'm getting in the air here, this is a beautiful, it's kind of like a spiced coffee aroma. Not the taste, but the aroma.
Yeah.
I gotta have this. I have to add this to my collection for this upcoming fall.
Yeah. I the inspiration for that is actually her house. So yeah. You know, I'll just tell the story super fast for anyone who hasn't heard it. I don't really have a relationship with my mom, my biological mom. And it's been a really weird thing for me being an adult and not having like that motherly presence in my life. And when I met my wife, she's Dominican, and you know, that culture is very family oriented. So as soon as we got together, her mom just dragged me right into the family. She basically like adopted me right in.
Amazing.
And we would go over to visit her, and she would always sit us down and make us a cup of coffee. It had a little bit of cinnamon, some brown sugar in there. She served us a slice of Dominican cake. And over enough times of visiting, I began to associate that smell with the feeling of having a mom again. You know, so for me, when I
That's
spray that,
amazing,
that's a scent of like motherly love. So
man.
if I
That's
ever get
amazing.
like stressed out, or if I feel like I'm going to have a stressful day, I'll wear TDC because it just makes me feel like I'm wearing a hug. Do you know what I mean?
Oh wow, you about to have me tearing up in here, man. Come
Uh,
on now.
it's very
No,
special to me.
seriously, that's a beautiful, beautiful display of love and affection. To be welcomed into your wife's family and her mother, to just make sure that you felt welcomed and loved and appreciated just for your presence. That's what it sounds like to me, just for your presence in the and now being a part of the family, man. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like all scent should come from a place of emotion. It should come from your soul. Because
Mhm,
if I'm gonna be honest with you, man, there's like more than 2,000 releases that come out for perfumes every single year. And
okay.
it's like, how do you stand out? And how do you rise above? And what we want to do is we want to give everybody like a little piece of our family, like a little piece of our soul, so that when you smell it, like some people just can't put their finger on what it is that makes it special. But the reality is it's crafted with a certain emotion, and it helps it to stand out from the crowd.
I I'm having a tough time here because is it Rose in here?
There is. Yeah. Yeah. There's rose. Rose backs up the coffee nicely and kind of sits as a ledge that the coffee can rest on. It kind of pushes the coffee up a little bit.
So what I mean by I'm having a tough time here is I know I just smelled this and I get accused a lot for like super duper overhyping fragrances. I don't care about that. It's just my experience and how it makes me feel. And I will say this, moderators, do me a favor. All right, do me a favor, moderators. We got some stuff going on in the chat. I need you guys to be on top of that for me and get that out of there. So y'all do me a favor, watch over the chat. I've got rid of some foolishness that I saw. So we keeping it cool tonight. So moderators, y'all do me a favor as y'all are having a good time in the chat. Y'all do me a favor and keep your eyes on the chat for me. But back to this fragrance. This reminds me, I'm a huge fall guy, right? I love the
Yeah.
fall. I love like early mornings in the fall. I'm going to sound like a real uh paperback exclusive here. But I like early mornings in the fall when it's cool out and I can get that cup of coffee. Maybe, me and my wife can go out for like an early breakfast or something like that. And we could just kind of sit in a position where we're in Florida, Jacksonville. So it's not freezing cold down here. We get a lot of beautiful weather when the seasons change. And you're talking about a high 50 degrees, 60, low 60-degree day. I can imagine drinking some coffee
Mm,
and I can imagine smelling my wife's scent at the same time
mhm.
and how they all can be entwined together while enjoying a beautiful breakfast or as we spend time with each other before we got to get the kids, something like that. This is making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Good.
It's a comforting. I've never smelled a coffee like this with the element of rose here.
Mhm.
And in the opening with that spiced kind of spiced coffee aroma. It's not like your traditional Folgers or Maxwell House or anything like that. You could tell that you're going to an actual big time coffee shop and they're using one of those big machines and they're, make you some high quality
So
stuff. I
actually,
mean,
we're just going to my mom's house, but she makes an amazing coffee, so
yeah.
it's like the same thing.
And some of the notes here, I'm going to read them right off the Day 3 Fragrances website here, day3fragrances.com. I have all of Michael's information below. I have the website, I have his Instagram page, and I have Day 3's Instagram page in the description of this live stream. Okay. So this is available in a 50 ml and 10 ml travel size. All right. Top notes: orange, spices, sweet cream, Dominican coffee, rose, chocolate, brown sugar, vanilla, musk, and absolute. I must have a bottle of this. I must have a bottle of this. This is so comforting, man. It's so cozy. I
Yeah.
can't wait till my wife smells this. I think she's gonna flip. Because like coffee fragrances, I think there's an art to them. I've smelled some really good coffee fragrances, and I've smelled some coffee fragrances. But this right here immediately shoots up to the top, man. I'm so tempted right now. I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I was going to spend time with fragrances and get back to you on ratings, but I don't care. This is a 10 out of 10 coffee.
Thank you. Thank you. We wanted it to be a fragrance and not just a coffee accord. What I've noticed with coffee, and I think it's actually pretty funny, is like, I think coffee is probably the only note in the community where people will have arguments about what perfume smells more like coffee. So it's funny. It's like people don't even really want to wear like a perfume. They just want to smell like coffee. And I joke around with my wife all the time. And I said, if I had known that, I would have just put some coffee absolute into a bottle and just sold it like just pure coffee. But that's what makes TDC is a little bit different, is that we're meaning for it to match the scent and the vibe of like my mom's house and a mother's love. So it has a feeling to it too. It has a warmth and a sort of softness to it.
Man, it does. Like you're describing like how I'm feeling. And when that kind of connection is made, like actually right now live, I'm literally saying to myself, how does Mike know how I'm feeling right now? Like in my head. So great way to describe that. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm one of, day 3 has been out for quite some time. And, we have Mike on for the first time tonight. I know a lot of you may know about this fragrance, but I'm going to encourage those who don't. If you're into coffee fragrances, coffee in general, forget about that. Let's scrap that. Let's scrap the feeling here. This is a rare moment for me where an actual aroma of something brings me comfort. I don't have a lot of fragrances. I have a lot of fragrances that I love. They smell great. The DNA, I love spices. I love leathers. I love ouds. All that. But like an actual fragrance that brings me comfort, like in the moment, man, it's a rarity for me. And I've smelled tons of fragrances. I have a collection that I'm almost ashamed of, but that's what I have. But that sweet cream and that brown sugar, as this is really starting to get down, continue to develop and dry down on my skin, it's super unique. This is unlike any other coffee fragrance that I have experienced. Unlike any other. This is a 10 out of 10 coffee fragrance, man. And for the fall, I must have experiences with this when the weather starts to cool off here. This is fantastic. Salute to you, Michael, and your team. That. The story is beautiful. The fragrance is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, try it. day3fragrances.com. It is in the description of this live stream. Y'all check it out. Okay.
It's all downhill from here, folks.
I believe so. So I'm going to go to another question for you, Michael. You've given us a lot of great information and a lot of man, really heartwarming. And me on this channel, man, I'm all about positive energy and I'm all about positive vibes. I don't do negativity in any kind of way. I'm very open-minded to having conversation. But I can respect a person who is very transparent and doesn't hold back, especially in a setting like this. I mean, you're live on a live stream with almost 100 people. You've done this several times, and you're sitting here revealing things, man, that are really personal and like really sentimental and really just heartfelt things that I think everybody can just kind of, just almost want to do this, because it's just, if you got a heart, that's just how you feel. So you, the man, Michael, Paul, like, who are you?
The emotion is important because people are wearing this on their skin, and they're going to go out and they're going to create memories of their own that they're going to associate this fragrance with. So that emotional connection and having the ability to communicate that sort of that emotion and that storytelling, it's really important for perfumery. It's not just about how something smells. It's how it feels, or how it makes you feel, or how it makes the people around you feel also. And it's one of the things that we like to focus on.
Man, fantastic, man. Fantastic. Look, I knew, because I've smelled Bani, I've smelled Deja Vu. Those are the only two that I've smelled. And those are fantastic fragrances, man. And of course, my love for the body oil brothers, body oil boys, stand up. Represent yourselves here in this chat. All my body oil lovers, represent yourselves. So your journey as a perfumer, You start off and you say, hey, we didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any resources or anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
How did you formulate your mind to the point where you're literally, Michael, a mastermind perfumer? That's what you are. How did you get to the point where you're able to create creations like you've created? How did you get there with not having any experience?
So I had never created a full perfume formula before. I have been familiar with some of the materials because I was an entertainer, and part of what I would do was a stand-up mind reading act. And so
Okay.
I had this really fun routine where I would call a woman up on the stage and I'd be, having some fun with her and, making the audience laugh. And not everyone feels comfortable being on stage while the audience is laughing with them or,
Mhm.
because sometimes it feels like the audience is laughing at you.
Okay.
So I always wanted to thank my volunteer on the way off the stage and so that she would feel comfortable. And what I would do is I would take a cocktail napkin and I would open it up and I would fold it into the shape of a rose. And then I would give it to her and thank her for helping me out with the show. And it was funny because every time someone took the rose, just naturally, like reaction, what they would do is they take the flower and they would smell it. And
Okay.
then the joke became like, oh, sorry, it just smells like a napkin. I feel like a loser now. And then I started to think about it for a while and I said, wouldn't it be amazing if she took the flower and she smelled it and it smelled like her favorite flower? And
Mm.
so I worked out a way to figure out her favorite flower. And then I started working on what I would learn later are basically simple accords for building floral, because I had to get the scent of the flower onto the napkin.
Okay.
And so for 15 years, I was studying just floral accords, basically like how to build an accord. I'd never really put together a perfume. Perfumery
Okay.
wasn't like a thing. So that helped that I was at least familiar with the materials. But then also I found that constructing a magic routine
Mhm.
is very, very similar to constructing a perfume. Because a
Okay.
magician sits and he thinks hard about how does the audience feel? What are they going to react to? What are their prior experiences? Like, what are they bringing to the table? And how do I communicate what I want to communicate to this audience? And then the funny part is a magician will use secret techniques that nobody sees, that he works real hard on, but you don't get to see the work. It just looks like magic to you. And perfumery is very much the same thing because you're putting together these illusions, these experiences for your
Yeah.
audience. And the
Yeah.
audience never sees the hard work that goes into it and all the formulas and all the calculations. They just experience the magic. And
Right.
so bringing that philosophy into my perfumery was a huge help to me. I feel very comfortable doing perfumery. I feel almost like I'm putting together a magic act.
That's interesting, man. It's like I go back to what you said that you were called to do this. But there's comfort in your previous experiences that have nothing to do with the art of perfumery.
Yeah.
But you found comfort in what you've already had experienced in and be able to relate it to what you're doing now. I think that's only a story that an individual can tell. I
Mm.
don't think that's something that somebody can hear and can be like, oh, I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean, but I'm listening to it, and it absolutely sounds like it sounds like a one of those Walt Disney books that you open up and you read these stories, and you think to yourself, "There's no way that this could be possibly true." That's what your story sounds
Yeah. Yeah.
like a fairy tale. Yeah,
I
that's the word I'm
agree.
looking for, like a fairy tale.
I agree.
So outstanding work. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you another fragrance. What's something that you also have a warm relationship or warm story about? What's another fragrance from the brand?
Pretty much all of them.
Oh,
We
okay.
don't really, yeah, we don't really create anything unless it like really touches us. Like we haven't released a fragrance yet where it's like, well, we need to do a floral, so let's get a floral out the door. Like nothing like that. So
Right.
I'll pick one for you. You have experience with Bani,
Yes.
right? So Bani is where my wife's family is in DR.
Okay.
And my mother-in-law is looking through these pictures and she has this black and white picture of a bunch of little kids sitting around a bucket, right? And in one hand, this little girl has got this like half-eaten mango, the juice is dripping all down, and the other hand, she's got a chewed up piece of sugar cane.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, like I can smell this picture. Like, who is this kid? And so she starts laughing. She goes, "That's your wife." And so it was a picture of Vanessa in her grandmother's backyard eating a mango that she picked off the tree. And
Wow.
in Bani, they're known for their mangoes. As a matter of fact, they're known worldwide for their mango festival that they have every year. So Bani is like this little town with this huge reputation for mangoes. So we got a bunch of mangoes from Bani and got some fresh sugar cane and started to put together accords and kind of create what I thought that picture would smell like. And that's where Bani came from. We actually named it Bani after the town.
Okay. Wow. So you look at a picture of your wife younger then, and you see this and it immediately inspires you.
Yeah, because there's like a purity there. You know what I mean? It's not like a mango candy or mango gum, or it's not something that's trying to be like super sexy and like modern. There's just an innocence and a purity of seeing a little kid with
Sure.
that's that juicy mango, knowing that it came off the tree that's only a few feet away.
Okay.
And with the sugar cane, and not everybody gets to experience the feeling of like chewing on the sugar cane. We put sugar cane in the notes, and it was deceptive for a lot of people because some people read it as just sugar, but it's not. Sugar cane is that earthy kind of green, like you would chew on it, and so that's the accord that's actually in there. And so I think the scent surprises some people because they're expecting something mega sweet and very candy like, but this is just photorealistic mango and sugar cane.
Yeah, when Ross brought it by, when he came by my home and we did some content and kicked it for a little while, that was one of the fragrances that he let me smell on a blind buying video. And I have this relationship with mango. It's one of my favorite fruits, number one. And I love smelling it in fragrance. So when I smelled Bani, immediately I didn't know what it was, but I smelled the mango. I smelled it. It was different. The quality was exceptional. It was one of those things where I was like, whoa, what is this and who is it? And then, he told me who it was. And right away, that's when my intrigue for day 3 went to like the next level because of the quality that you provided in Bani. But tying the story to that makes it even that much more fantastic for sure. All right. So we're going to go the latest release. Jared is telling me to smell the latest release. So forgive me. What is the official latest release from the house?
Okay, so he might be talking about one of two things. So our latest release is Escandalo. And Escandalo is a freshie. But I also sent you a sample of Aylin, and Aylin is coming out in December. So I'm not sure which one. For Scent Explorer. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to save that one because you left that out. So I'm assuming that's what
do that one last.
We'll smell that one last.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said Escandalo?
Escandalo, yeah.
Okay.
So the big dance in the Dominican Republic is bachata. And my mom was telling me that when bachata was first sort of introduced to society, it was considered a little scandalous, like it's a little sexy, so if you wanted to dance bachata, it wasn't going to be in like the main clubs on the island. What people had to do is they had to wait till it got dark. They would go out onto the beach and they would sing bachata and dance until the sun came up. So it's sort of like dancing in secret with your lover, and she said, now I started to think, as I'm thinking like, okay, it's nighttime and it's sexy and but then she kind of hit me with a twist to the story. She said, what I remember most about the smell of those moments, she's talking to me now because she knows, we're doing perfumery. So like every story is like possible perfume. She said, what I remember most about the smell, she said, is when the sun came up on the beach, the warmth from the sun would hit the foliage growing on the beach, and you'd get this gorgeous like green perfume scent. And so I wanted to capture like sunrise foliage, super fresh, but also really sexy. So for the sexiness, we went with a really fancy rose absolute. We did rose de mai and jasmine, which are considered to be like jasmine is like a narcotic floral, so it just does something to you, you know. And we put that in the mid, and then just freshen the top. And then we used a new floral that no one's ever used in perfumery before. We used Dominican daisy. And
so I was about to ask. I said I get all of the floral aspect here. Yeah. I get the beautiful freshness. It is a very sexy. It's one of those fragrances where you know it's going to be like a, you know, an intimate night. You know, it's like it's going to be, you know, a great dinner. There's going to be some great energy, some good conversation. There is some real agendas there with this type of energy, and that's what I'm getting from here. This is not like you're at all a standard freshie or citrus at all, but there is something floral in here that I'm having a hard time grasping. And you went ahead and put it out there for me. What is this floral? Like, what is it?
So it's actually the actual name for it is Tropic Daisy.
Okay.
And that's the way we had it on our site for a while, but people were mistakenly reading it as Tropical Daisy, and they were expecting something more tropical. Okay. So we just kind of made it easier for people. We just put Dominican Daisy because that's where it grows. It grows in the Dominican Republic. And when you get this oil and you smell it, it smells like almost like really smooth lavender and kind of like bubble gum come together. And when you smell it, it doesn't even smell like a flower. Like it smells like something else altogether, almost like a candy. But it's
I was about to say, I get this very mild, like I guess cotton candy tone to it. Very mild cotton candy tone to it.
Yeah, that's the Dominican Daisy. As a matter of fact, this year at Scent Explorer, I'm going to bring a bottle of Dominican Daisy so that anyone that wants to smell that flower all by itself will be able to smell that flower. We thought people would be more excited because we were like breaking new ground, like using a new floral. And you know what I learned real fast is that nobody cares at all because they can't identify the notes. They've never smelled it. We felt special for sourcing this Dominican Daisy and using it. It gives the fragrance a little something different.
Man, this is beautiful, man. And this is my speed, especially in the environment that I am down here in Florida, in Jacksonville. You know, me and my wife, you know, we make sure we continue to date each other. That's why I tell people who are married or, you know, you're in a long relationship, you got to continue to date your significant other. That's how you can keep things fresh and things like that. So when we go out, man, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm making sure I'm dressed to the nines. I'm making sure I'm groomed to the nines. I'm making sure I'm moisturized and smelling the absolute best possible that I can smell for her, you know, because just the representation of myself is a vision, like it's actually a mirror with her looking at me. This is her representation in myself. That's a little bit of game for those out there who are looking to kind of re-spark a relationship. I am not a counselor, but
that's great advice, though.
Yeah, I fully believe in that. So this is a fragrance, a Escandalo, that I definitely, on a summer's evening, if we're going out and it's just one of those nights for me and my wife, we're going to have a good dinner. We might sip on a little bit of wine, just enjoying each other's company. And this is a fragrance that I want to help create the memory of that evening. And this is beautiful, Michael.
Thank you.
Beautiful, very fresh. The floral aspect is not too it's not too feminine. It definitely lines very unisex line here with this fragrance. It's stellar, man, and I could definitely see it for all you you suave debonair guys out there who want to smell fresh and clean, but you're looking for something that's a little bit different, has a unique edge to it. Here you go with the Escandalo. This is beautiful stuff. It's beautiful, man, and I can definitely see the intent behind this fragrance about what I'm smelling. It's an easy wear, but it's definitely something that everybody ain't wearing this, man.
Yeah,
and you can set yourself apart.
You can set
yourself apart for sure.
It's different.
Really good fragrance for sure.
We might have made a mistake by calling it Escandalo because people hear the word scandalous and they think, well, it's got to be a lot of oud and leather and smoke.
Oh, really? You
It's
get
not.
that
It's very fresh. It's different, but it's very fresh. And so I don't know if the name lines up with the scent perfectly, but I guess if you're familiar with the inspiration, it lines up with the inspiration.
Oh, I never thought that. I never thought that at all, actually, until you just said it. Like, I think the name is perfect.
Hey, just a heads up for everybody that's in the chat right now. My wife just put together a discount code for everybody. It's orders over $100. So either a full bottle, or if you want to pick a couple of like 10 mils, is DH15. And if you use that,
nice.
you get a discount on whatever.
Well, wow, that's really big of you, man. Wow, y'all hear that, chat? You know, Mike is in here showing love tonight. DH15. Go on day 3, spend a little bit of money. Spend up to $100. Yeah,
anything over $100. Yeah.
DH15.
Of course,
man.
you know, we try to discourage blind buying, right? So what we do also is we sell our discovery sets for $35. We ship them for free. You don't pay shipping. Then if at any point you buy a discovery set and you like something in there, we give you a $35 code off of any full bottle. So it's almost like getting a discovery set for free, because we just want you to get your nose on everything. We don't want to surprise you with a blind buy. So try it. If you fall in love with it, we'll take good care of you.
And customer service, quality, you can't beat it, man. So if you're interested in day 3, on the spot, on the live, they created a code for us tonight. DH15, spend up to $100, experience this incredible things that I'm experiencing right now. Escandalo is beautiful. Laita de Cafe is a 10 out of 10 coffee.
Thank you.
I'm kind of holding my tongue and saying if it's the best, greatest coffee ever. I will spend more time on that whenever I acquire a bottle of this fragrance. So I will say, you coffee lovers, you freshie lovers, these are 2 for sure to absolutely get your nose on. So, Mike, again, thank you for being here tonight. So we have 96 watching strong right now. Hit that thumbs up if you have not already. Thank you guys for all your support. Everybody in the chat, I see everybody in here. I see my man Jason in here. I see my man Jay in here. Smooth operator in here as well. I see everybody showing love. Everybody typing in the code. Joel, my Kappa, my sister Shoshana. Showing love. Everybody showing love in the chat tonight. I really appreciate you guys for sure. So I want to dive into more of these fragrances. I do have one more question.
Where are we going next?
I do have one more question for you, but we'll get to that in just a second, because I do see a couple of fragrances that I have heard about. I've seen conversations about them, and now that I have them in my hand, I definitely want to see what they are all about. And where is it? Okay, Philosophia.
Yes, Philosophia.
So, Mike, can you really tell me about Philosophia? People in the chat might know about it, but
yeah,
where are we at with Philosophia?
So I work with my family here. So me and my wife are full-time. My sister-in-law is full-time here. My daughter Dakota and my niece Delaney, they work with us too. And some of the days get really long, especially during like the holiday season, you know. And what we'll do is every once in a while we shut down all the computers, all the screens and everything. We'll head out in the backyard. It's nice and cool, and we'll light up a cigar. We have a favorite cigar. It's the Ashton VSG. And because of the way that it's grown, the wrapper has kind of like a chocolate nuance to it. It's just a very smooth cigar. And whenever we're lighting up a cigar and we're outside just talking, just us family, everything, the conversation turns towards like love and giving. It's all these like big topics, you know, it's all philosophical stuff. And so I wanted to honor that moment because the cigar smells so good to me. I was like, we have to do a fragrance. We called it Philosophia, which is Spanish for philosophy, because that's the vibe. And I modeled it after that Ashton VSG cigar. So if you're a cigar person and you get an Ashton VSG, you can smell the wrapper and smell the fragrance, and you will get the accord right away. In fact, last year for Scent Explorer, we actually brought Ashton VSGs and we put them out on the table, and we were letting people smell the cigar and then the fragrance. And we sold out of Philosophia that first day. We ended up selling 700 bottles in a weekend, if you can believe that, which is wild. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. But it's the combination of the chocolate and the tobacco in there that makes that beautiful cigar accord. And so because it's kind of got that chocolatey, vanilla, hazelnut side to it, it stays unisex. Whereas a lot of tobacco fragrances go right off to like the masculine side. This is almost perfectly unisex. It's so smooth. It's not a screamer, so you're not going to fill a room with it, but it's that intimate kind of like warm cloud around you. It's a very sexy scent.
This is crazy. This one is crazy. This one is really crazy. But you know what I get? And I haven't pulled up the notes yet, but my nose detects anything with cashmere in it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's in here?
Cashmere. Yeah. Yeah.
My nose picks up anything that has cashmere in it, and it's one of my favorite notes. This is outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you. You've got a great nose, by the way, to pick out one material out of there. It's fantastic.
I'm smelling Laita de Cafe, and now I'm smelling Philosophia. I gave Laita de Cafe a 10 out of a 10. Say what you want about me. I don't care. Philosophia is a 10 out of 10.
Thank you very much. It is. Somebody asked if the tobacco was dominant, and in the formula, it is. There's a large dose of it, but it's very well balanced with the chocolate, which kind of tones that tobacco down. So the tobacco is very much there, and if you're a fan of tobacco, you'll get it. But it's also blended in such a way that makes it very easy to wear.
I am not a gourmand lover, Mike. I'm not a gourmand lover. It's something that I'm very particular with. Gourmands, and the tobacco and the chocolate and the other sweet avenues to this fragrances are blended to perfection.
Thank you.
Like I have an immediate attraction to this fragrance, the aroma that it's providing. And I get real specific with my fragrance experiences. This is something that I've loved since I was 11, 12 years old, as long as I can remember, just the art of perfumery before I knew it was called perfumery, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But this right here is a total experience. And I rarely get a chance to have these experiences when you're talking about absolute quality, storytelling. But the one thing that I pick up with everything that I've smelled thus far with Day 3 fragrance is you guys have clear intentions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clear intentions, from the packaging to the DNA of these fragrances to the storytelling, the in-depth analysis of everything per fragrance.
Yeah.
That's what makes Day 3 special.
Thank you.
That's what makes Day 3 a brand that people should want to get behind. That makes Day 3 a brand that you want to be proud to speak about it. You want to be proud to share it. Because when you connect everything, the family aspect, Michael's story, the creations, this is something that I fully believe that everybody should experience this house. Get this sample pack, y'all. Get this sample pack. Because now I'm 2 bottles in. 2 bottles will be purchased. I am bottles in, and I still have 4 fragrances that I have not yet experienced from the house. Michael, Philosophia
yep.
is outstanding, man. The tobacco, the chocolate nuances. Michael pretty much talked about a lot of the notes here. Tonka, cashmere, which I picked up right away. Tobacco. You get this warmth, this sweetness. You get this. It's like a potion. It comes off like a potion to me, because I know for a fact, if you represent yourself to the highest standard and you're maneuvering around out here in the world, whatever you may be doing, this is definitely something that if you want attention, if you want someone to stop their feet, like stop what they're doing and potentially want to have a conversation with you. I'm not going to say compliment. I love to say have a conversation about what you're wearing. That's what I like to contribute that to. This is a fragrance that can definitely do that, just like Laita de Cafe. Like, outstanding, Mike. Outstanding. I'm really blown away. Seriously, I'm really blown away by this fragrance. I have to have this. I have to have this, and I must put this to the test.
Well, you know, the Ashton VSG cigar is really highly rated, and the reason it's really highly rated amongst cigar smokers is because it's bold and it has a lot of flavor and there's a lot of nuance to it, but it's also really smooth and easy to smoke. And so that's what we wanted to do with the fragrance, was make it really different and make it really pop, but also make it smooth and easy. So there's that creaminess to it. The tobacco's there, but it's like a creamy warmth to it, you know?
This is exceptional, man. Again, all you fall lovers, your cooler weather lovers, your tobacco lovers. This is smooth and then sweet. Smooth and sweet. I don't want to say sweet and smooth, because sweet on the front end can come off a little overwhelming to me, almost sickly to the stomach. That's just been my experiences lately as my journey with fragrances has taken off with smelling all these different fragrances. So my nose has kind of gotten to a point where I know what I love, I know what I don't love, I know what are things in fragrances that, like cashmere, I love it. It's that warmth, cozy effect that cashmere brings to a fragrance, and it is represented well for sure. Beardsome is asking me, D, if you had no choice, oh God, no choice but to blind buy one. Beardsome, don't do this to me, man. Beardsome, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you this, that these are high quality. I can tell you that these will both give you an experience. I will tell you that I don't have to choose. I will tell you that you get a different experience with both of these fragrances, but you're going to keep that quality, and it's just going to make you, I can't speak for anybody else, it's making me feel like a way. It's triggering like my mind, like, man, I want to go and get dressed and get as fly as I can get, and me and my wife can just go and hit the streets, man. That I just want to go have a good time when I'm wearing this. I want to create that intimate environment with my wife, those cozy dynamics that you can do. That's what it makes me want to do. So that kind of gives you a little bit of insight as we welcome in the fall. That's just where I am with it, man. That's where I am with it. Okay. All right, man. So we're an hour in, not going to keep Mike that much longer. So we're going to go ahead and get to the Scent Explorer. Is this a collaboration? What is this exactly?
So Scent Explorer has been doing the thing where every year they do like an official perfume of Scent Explorer. So last year, Christian Carbonell from Xerjoff did the fragrance for Navitus Perfumes, and that was like the Scent Explorer exclusive. And this year, of all the people, and I don't know why he picked me. I should not have been in the running for, but Max from Scent Explorer called up and he said, "Hey, would you like to do the Scent Explorer perfume this year?"
Super cool.
Yeah,
Super cool.
I was beyond honored. Like, I can't even tell you how that makes me feel, you know, that somebody like Max, who's in the industry, would have enough trust in me as a perfumer to put his name on one of my creations. Is like, man, that made me feel so good. So
I bet it did, man. I bet it did. And now I understand the conversation. I understand it. People have been telling me, hey D, hey D, hey D, day three, day three, day three. Hey D, hey D, hey. That's a song, by the way. Hey D, hey D, hey D, day three, day three, day three. So I said, yo, I promise y'all I'm gonna get to it. I promise you. And with me being a content creator, man, it's a lot of blurs going on with smelling stuff, man, and creating content. But I will say this has given me a forever impression.
Oh, thank you.
Like a forever impression, where day three will definitely now be in, as I like to call it in my collection, rarefied air.
All right.
So when someone has a conversation with me and they want recommendations from houses or what house to look into, there's one thing if someone says, hey, you know, can you recommend me a fragrance? Well, yeah, I can recommend you tons. But when people want to talk about houses to look into and you want to kind of wrap your mind around what a house has to offer, Day 3 is there. It's rarefied air. And again, I highly recommend everybody at least getting Discovery Set. Again, there's a code going on right now, DH15.
Yeah.
You spend up to $100. You use that code, save you a little bit of money, and experience what I'm experiencing right now. Now, y'all know me. I'm a real emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I don't apologize for it to nobody. But this is a great experience for me. So we're getting ready to tap into
Aylin. Yeah, Aylin.
Aylin.
Aylin is my daughter's middle name, and I actually created this for her.
Oh, wow.
She's 16 years old. She works in the company. She goes with us to all the events. She's always around the lab. She's like she's like my little shadow. She's next to me like every moment of the day, and I love that, you know. And she has this incredible nose, and I know you're not going to believe this, but like at 12 years old, she was wearing Noir de Noir by Tom Ford as like her signature scent.
Wow.
And for a middle schooler, that's a little unusual, you know? So we've been taking her all over the world with us. And every time we go to a boutique or something and she gets her nose on something that has oud or something extremely complex or very expensive musk, she's like, this is the one. I like this one, you know? And a real funny, like kind of tangent here, but I've discovered that I have to teach her how to speak when we're in a boutique versus like in the lab, because sometimes I'll critique my own work. You know, there'll be an accord that's like real basic. Oh, this is trash. It's so basic. Like this is very one note, you know, and then we'll go into a boutique and she'll smell something. And then, you know, she's only 16. She's figuring things out, you know, she'll pick something up and go, Dad, this is trash. Like who would wear this? So basic. And I'm like, no, please don't say that, you know.
She's telling her how it is and how she feels, man.
Right.
So, I feel you though.
I sourced her favorite notes that have come into the lab and taken a look at some of her favorite perfumes, and I built her a fragrance. It like if I was going to make it for a queen, like if I was going to make it for royalty.
Okay, yes sir. Yes sir.
No expenses spared. There was no budget for the fragrance because I'm making this for my daughter, you know.
Yes sir, absolutely.
There was no limit that I was willing to say that's too much. So we used Bulgarian rose. We used a special vanilla absolute from Papua New Guinea. We used an oud, a very, very expensive agarwood oud in there. And so it's a vanilla, and it's sweet enough for a high schooler to wear to high school, but it has the complexity of something that would be worn by a king or a queen. That's how I feel too. It's for my daughter, you know. I had to do the best that I possibly could. It's got her name on it. Aylin is actually my daughter's middle name. Thank you.
This is next level here, y'all. This is next level here. The rose, the vanilla, the oud. I pick up the oud. It's a softer oud. It comes off more woody than oudy. There's nothing stinky about this in any way. It's a smooth blend that right away you understand that this is something that is different here.
Yeah.
The profile is what's triggering me, because I've smelled these notes before together. And I'm usually, oh, okay, I know it did. No. There is something about this particular blend. The rose and the vanilla. The vanilla almost comes off as like slightly charred, like a slightly charred vanilla. if you've ever been to like a actual like rose garden, like many years ago, my aunt would take us to like pick flowers, and there would be lilies and roses, and there would be like lavender stems. There would be like a lot of different things in there that I remember. And I remember smelling roses, and I remember smelling the lavender stems. And it's so crazy that my mind was able to go all the way back to when I was a boy, going with my aunt when she would go pick flowers for her home and place things up. The floral representation here, I'm saying all this to say, it's not like that rose that's in your local grocery store. It's not like that rose that's, you know, it's an experience, and you can tell it was grown with care. You can tell that this particular rose and this fragrance has a good life. And if you know anything about flowering and bedding and things like that, you know, these flowers, when well taken care of, they bloom and blossom into some of the most beautiful experiences that you could ever have.
Well, you've
And
got
that's
a
what I'm
great
thinking.
nose, because most fragrances, it's difficult to put a lot of rose into a fragrance because rose is extremely expensive. So most of the time what you get is you get a rose accord, which is made up of citronellol and phenyl ethyl alcohol and geraniol. This is rose absolute from Bulgaria, and we sourced the best in the world. Like, we hunted down the company that we wanted to, and this rose oil it's mind blowing. And that's what I use in the formula because, again, it's for my daughter and it's got my daughter's name on it. Like, you know what you would do for your kids? You're a dad, you know, you would do
Yes,
anything for your kids. So
anything,
you're going to
anything.
produce that one fragrance for your child. It's going to be like perfection. Do you know what I mean?
Know what your intentions were for your daughter to display. I'm assuming for you that this had to be perfect. There could be no yeah buts or no ifs and ands. No, this had to be perfect. I can imagine how many different variations of this fragrance that you probably went through to get it to the point where it is now. The vanilla right now, the vanilla and the rose are really doing a slow dance. Like it's a slow dance with the vanilla and the rose here. The woodsy dynamic is sitting up underneath the rose and the vanilla. And those are the really, and it's the oud in here, it's kind of coming off dry now. Like, it's getting a bit of dry texture to it. And it's really opening up that rose even more as it develops on my skin. Mike, I am a rose lover.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I love rose. It's one of my favorite notes. And I hold rose fragrances near and dear. And I will say this. There is a new contender for the best rose fragrance in my entire existence of smelling rose fragrances.
Wow.
This is right up there with some of the favorites that I've talked about on this stream. Zaharov's Signature Rosé is one of those at the top of the list for me. There is it's not that many that I put in rarefied air, but this is there. This is beautiful, Mike. What did your daughter do or say or act like, or when it was complete and the final rendition was ready? What was that like for you and her, if you care to share something so personal? I'm sure.
Yeah, so this is going to be a letdown, but it wasn't really that big of a deal because, you know, we're getting things from all over the world into the lab. And like I said, she's right by my side, like, every day. And so, you know, smell this, smell that. And the process has been long, with her wearing variation after variation for the last year and a half. And when I finally hit on it, she sees it less of like, this is my special perfume, and she sees it more like, well, this is trial 119, you know. But you know, she likes it and she wears it. But it's I think it'll hit her when it launches, like, to actually see the bottle with your name on it and, you know, to spray it for the first time. I think that's when it'll hit her.
Now, will this be a Scent Explorer exclusive?
Yeah, so the way it's going to work is
Wow.
we're doing a Scent Explorer exclusive launch where there's just going to be 300 bottles that are going to be, they're going to have a special Scent Explorer seal. And then on the back of the bottle, it'll be autographed by myself and it will be autographed by Dakota because the fragrance is hers. And then it's going to come with a certificate. So every one of those first 300 bottles is going to be numbered. So you have an official signed certificate, an autograph bottle, and the Scent Explorer seal. After Scent Explorer, we'll continue to produce Alin in our regular bottles, you know.
Thank goodness.
But yeah, so you know, I want it to be around. I want it to be a legacy fragrance for us for the house because it's got my daughter's name on there. But yeah, the Scent Explorer bottles are going to be awesome. And they're going to go almost immediately. So if you're going to Scent Explorer, make sure that you pre-order. All of the sales are going to be handled through Scent Explorer. So they're going to do the distribution and all of that. But if you're going to Scent Explorer, reserve your bottle because they're going to go fast.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
This is a fragrance. I've been told by a couple of my retailers now that if we slapped a $500 sticker on this and put this in, you know, like a Roja bottle or a Tom Ford bottle, they would sell immediately. The autographed bottle is going to go for $180. That's crazy talk. Like that's ridiculous. But we, you know, we like to provide a value for our customers too. And we just feel like everyone should get to try this fragrance. So 180 it is, and they're going to go right away. So definitely get your bottle. I don't think that Scent Explorer started pre-selling it yet because I see somebody asking. It's Scent Explorer is the first week of December. So I would look for that link probably closer to like mid-October. That's my guess. But just keep an eye on the Scent Explorer website.
This is a masterpiece, man.
Thank you.
I know I've given a couple 10 out of 10s tonight. I don't care. I'm going to do it again.
It's an 11. This one's an 11 out of 10.
Yes, because for me, like I said, you know, there's this false theory of the, you know, roses are made for ladies only, and ladies, you know, it's not true at all. If you appreciate the artistry in perfumery, you know that a good rose started with a lot of gentlemen's fragrances back when. They used it a lot. Rose was used a lot in these fragrances before it branched off to just the ladies. And this is a great example. Number one, anybody can wear this. That's number one. Number two, you lovers of rose. I'm talking about you lovers of rose, like people who appreciate rose. Like this is something at some point in time when they're readily available for us all after Scent Explorer, those of us who are not going to Scent Explorer, this is something that you must get your nose on. Sample wise, this is going to be a full bottle for me. For sure, this has to be in that section of my collection where I keep my roses. This will sit in the front. It'll be something when I open up my fragrance cabinet, it'll be right there for me to see. That's how good this is. This is great, Mike. Fantastic job. And it's got to feel good. And I know you feel good about the fragrance, but it's got to feel good for you to know that you created this with the love for your child. You know, like if you don't, it's kind of unspoken thing that is unexplainable.
Yeah.
If you have this genuine appreciation for your child. You know, when you
she needed to have a fragrance in the line because she's such an essential part of who we are as a company. Like I said, she comes with us to all the events, right? Here's a 16-year-old kid who, you know, where we've like had flight delays or like things happen with our hotels. The kid never complains. She's the most amazing travel partner. She's up for work all the time, and it's just I can't say enough about how mature and how special this kid is. So she needed to have a scent in the line that's like it's got her name on it because she's just such an important part of who we are.
Yeah, and she must be incredible for the time and effort that you wanted to dedicate this to her, and this is going to be definitely a legacy move for day 3. And I'm sure every single time that you hear about this fragrance and the impact that it's going to have on people who have appreciation, I'm sure it's just going to make you feel good over and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
we're excited for the whole Scent Explorer event also. This is going to be kind of the day 3 coming out party, because there are a lot of people who don't know who we are or who hadn't heard about us previously, who are going to see that day 3 created this Scent Explorer exclusive. At the same time, Le Parfum magazine is will have day 3 featured in it for that edition that's coming out for Scent Explorer, and then we'll be speaking at the event. So they have this big conference where, you know, you get speakers and we get to go speak at the event. So we're super excited just to get our face out there and to get people familiar with the brand. We don't really need to beat people over the head with like advertising and like fancy gimmicks. We just want everyone to come to the booth and just smell, just put your nose on it. We're convinced that if you put your nose on the discovery set, you'll find something in there that you like.
Yeah. You got me, man. You got me. Like I said, I was already a fan of what I've smelled before tonight. And I still have 3 samples that I'm going to smell, but I'm to the point now where I need to go sit in my big chair over here, and I need to get me like a glass of wine. I need to, like, you know, just kind of take a little time for myself tonight to experience these last 3.
Do it. Yeah, enjoy.
Because I'm going to go through these samples, obviously, to spend more time with them. And I must say, like, the hype is real for day 3, y'all. The hype is real for day 3. I've heard so much conversation of day 3, and I've been telling you guys I'm going to get to it. I promise you we're going to do it. And then it just linked up like this with Michael being in some of the chats of the live streams and connecting, and him being so gracious enough to provide this sample set tonight, and for us to be able to have these conversations. And it's just been a pleasure, man. And like I told you before we started the stream, man, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to gentlemen like you who are in this space that I've been fascinated with since I was a boy. So to now tie in the stories and how you got to the stage of doing perfumery and smelling these wonderful fragrances, man. I mean, I'm a fan for life, man. I'm a fan for life. And before I met you, Michael, and now that the stream is winding down, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense, because I always wonder, what is it about day 3 that has everybody talking? And now I can contribute to the conversation, and I'm happy about that. I see you, Beardson, with the question. I'm going to ask him right now. Beardson wants to know, Mike. Oh, yes. Michael, are you shipping internationally? I'm on your website and only shows English currency for me.
We will be very, very shortly. So there's a super long process. People don't always quite grasp like all the details that go into being an American company and then getting to ship internationally. So right now, our fragrances are being third-party tested for stability and for compliance. And we're IFRA compliant, we're EU compliant, and it's just a matter of getting that certification back from the lab that they're stable so that we can have an SDS. And I know that's a whole lot of like scientific, you know, detail vocabulary, but soon it's going to happen soon. We do plan on being in Milan next year for the Essence Fragrance Festival. And so we will be shipping internationally before that time.
Okay. Awesome. So the good folks like Beardson and all my international Smell Good family members, there's some good news there from Mike in day 3. I do want to say, I got to put you on the hot seat before we get out of here. We're getting ready to wrap up the stream. It's been incredible tonight. We've had a pretty steady, decent crowd all evening long. And I thank you guys for taking the time out to join us tonight and learn a little bit more about Mike and the company, and then the exclusive Scent Explorer release dedicated to his daughter was really, really cool. I can't wait to watch this back and, just see it for myself. But Mike, before I let you go, I know it's going to be hard to do.
All right.
But I do it to everybody who makes an appearance here. And it's supposed to be hard. All right. Pause. Okay. All right. But Mike, what are your top 3? If you, I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. If they said to you, Mike, you only can keep 3 going forward, man,
3
What will
fragrances
they be?
total. My
3.
house or any house?
Your house of day 3.
My house. Oh.
There it is. I like that right there. Rubbing of the head,
So,
eyes in the sky, having
it's
a little
gotta be,
itching.
yeah, it's not easy. They're like kids, right? Imagine
Yeah.
looking at one of your kids in the face and being like, "I didn't choose you today. You
Yep,
gotta
yep,
go."
yep,
It's
yep,
terrible.
yep.
Laita de Cafe. This is very
Mm,
personal, just very, very special to me, and I
yeah.
wear it constantly.
Yes.
Aylin, for the same reason.
Yes.
Like, I do think that that's gonna be the number one. I think when people look back, like, years from now and they talk about, like, what fragrances did day 3 do, I feel like Aylin's always gonna be in the conversation for, like, that was the top
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I can see that.
And probably Ambar Dominicano.
Mm,
It's based on our family bottle of Mama Juana, which is a Dominican spiced rum. Every family's
mm.
got one.
Okay.
It's like a very important part of the culture, but it's
Okay.
like spicy and warm. It's an amber, but it's got like real like originality. Like there's a cola note in the top. It's super smooth, and I wear it almost constantly when it's, but I didn't leave myself with a freshie, right?
Nope.
I don't know. I think I have to. I think I have to leave. No, all right. Let me take Ambar Dominicano out, and I'll put Bani in. It's just
Mm,
no matter how hot it gets, you can wear Bani, and it's easy, super easy to wear.
yeah.
And I get compliments with it all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be the 3. That was actually hard. So
I know it was. I know
yeah.
it was. I enjoy especially, perfumers and brand owners. I know it's like picking your kids. You spend all this
Yeah.
time creating these fragrances and these packages and the stories and making sure they're perfect to share to the world, because that's what you're doing. You're sharing your most precious thoughts and feelings and the hard work. I can imagine the work that goes into these fragrances to get them ready to be released and meet all of the standards and certifications and all these things that you guys have. I can imagine what that's like on a day-to-day basis. I look forward to experiencing it myself one day, just being in the midst of a fragrance that is being created, whether it's my own one day or just being a fly on the wall and just seeing all of the stuff that goes on for a fragrance to be released. So I'm just fascinated by it all. So Mike, thank you so much for being here tonight, for
It's
lending
my
us your
pleasure.
time, telling us the stories, being transparent, letting people get to know you and your journey and all of the things that go into these beautiful and special creations over at day 3. Again, thank you for sending this discovery set over to me, and also the oil, the Bani oil, all my body oil brothers, body oil boys unite again. Get your nose on Bani, the body oil. Mike said it's going to be around. And I'm glad that it is, because the day that it seems like it will go away into the history books, I will grab as many bottles as I can
Hey man, I
to
truly
have it.
appreciate you. I really do love your content. I love
Thank
your
you.
work, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate you taking the time to have me on, because
Yes, sir.
this was a lot of fun. And if we get a chance to do it again, just
Of
let me
course.
know, and I'm
No,
100% in. Like, whenever you want.
no. We will. We
All right,
will. Me and you will continue to develop a relationship. I have a lot of admiration for you, sir. Your creative mind. Like I said,
right
I'm
back at you.
fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by it. So when I get the chance to have these conversations and hear the stories and everything that go into it, it's just one of those things that continues my passion with perfumery. I'm one of those guys. I'm a nerd for it. I'm not trying to be outside of the box. I'm not trying to create a new dynamic when it comes to fragrances. That's just not my lane. I think people can learn a lot and experience a lot by just stuff like this, getting the opportunity to hear from the creator, getting the opportunity to match up the backstories to this present time. And the journey for day 3 tonight, from not having any inkling of any idea to start being a perfumer, to now you got me out here calling out 3 10 out of 10s
It's
out of the
ridiculous.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I will say this. My mother, I'm going to send this to her. She's a big believer, big faith. She's going to love you because your willingness to be you and tell your story and your testimony, she is going to love this. So I'm going to send this to my mom tonight, and she watches it all the interviews that I do, she watches them. But I know, sir, that she's going to take a particular interest in this one when she starts to watch. I'm not going to tell her about you. I'm just going to let her watch and I'm just curious
to see what she has to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm going to let my wife smell these tonight when I get done here.
All right.
I'm going to go out here and, spray some on my wife, and we're going to have some conversations and get it going like that. And again, guys, the code tonight, DH15.
DH15.
Up to $100.
Yep.
You get that code activated.
Also, secret tip for you guys. We do most of our sales through our email list. So if you have an opportunity to go to the website, just sign up for the email list. We don't spam. We send out an email like once every month, and you get a discount code. And you'll be the first person to know about new releases and that's just like a hot little tip. Like if you enjoy the bottles and you just want a little extra edge on discounts, that's the way to go.
Absolutely. Thank you. My wife's telling me to hurry up so she can smell the fragrance, and our sister will be on the phone as well, want to engage when we get done here. So again, Thank you all for joining us tonight. We had a great crowd tonight. Thank you for Mike and his team for being available for us. And especially for me, this was selfishly, this was an interview for me that y'all just got a chance to be a part of, because I really was looking forward to talking to Mike and really having these conversations. So I'm glad I was able to share that with all of you. If you've watched the playback and you've made it all the way to the end, be sure to hit that thumbs up. And again, Mike, how long are you going to keep this code going, DH15?
That's a good question. Let's do 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. Generous enough. 2 weeks, DH15. I will put it in the description when this is over with to add to everything else, and then I will make sure I mention it for the next couple of weeks so you guys can take advantage of Mike and his team being generous enough for you to get that 15%. Again, try the house, y'all. See for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my experiences. My experiences are mine. All right, you need to have yours, but I will say, if you rock with me in any way, shape, or form, or you're a fan of the channel and the content, and I'm putting my 10 toes on it. I'm standing on this day 3 experience. Try it for yourself. There will be something or multiple offerings that would have to resonate. I just can't see how it couldn't. We're talking quality. We're talking scent DNA. And most importantly for me, those stories that bridge all of this together is what makes this so special. Makes it so special. So, Mike, any final remarks, man, before we shut it down?
I really appreciate you. I appreciate your audience. Thank you guys so much for the ones who stuck around all night. I just really appreciate you. So, and I look forward to interacting with you. If you have any questions, if I didn't answer any questions, hit me up. It's only myself, my wife, or my sister that answers the our Instagram page. So one of our family members will be able to help you out, and I'm here for you. Like I don't want to be removed from our people. You know what I mean? So whatever you need, just hit me up, and I'll take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I will definitely be building this relationship for sure. Like I said, great appreciation for what you do, your story, and everything behind it just makes it even that much better, man. So salute to you, salute to your team, everybody involved, your wife, your daughter, your sister, the engine behind Day 3 Fragrances. Good luck to you guys. Prosperity, success, health, wealth, anything that can come your way in a positive a phase that could contribute to what you guys are doing already. I truly wish that for you guys, for sure. Like, for sure. All right, y'all. Until next time, tomorrow night, me and Sally will be back. Me and Sally knows it all. We're going to team up tomorrow night, and we're going to be doing a discovery set. I think it's Altair or Althalia Fragrances. I'm butchering the name. Butcher Senior here reporting for duty. I'm butchering that. So me and Sally picked up a discovery set. We're going to be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Thursday, doing a discovery set right before kickoff of some football game that I'm going to want to watch. All right. So look out for that. And we'll see you tomorrow night. As always, y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great Thursday. And y'all know what it is, baby. Splack it up. Splack it out. Splack it that thing all around. And remember, what you put out into this world, what you put into this world is exactly what you are going to get back. If the energy around you is a little bit funky, you can't really understand why you just can't get on the good foot, maybe you should take a look at yourself and kind of figure out what you could do to help the situation. It's just some suggestions. It's just a little bit of advice. I don't know it all, but I know a little bit. All right. Peace, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.